Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, Provisioning Jenkins Master on AWS with Terraform. Before getting into the hands-on, let's see what is the agenda for this video. The first one is Terraform script walkthrough. I will go through the script that has been written to provide the infrastructure required to run the Jenkins master on AWS EC2 instance and Jenkins server initial setup configurations. Once the Terraform script done its job, we can see that Jenkins master is up and running on AWS. Before using Jenkins master, Jenkins server, we had to do some initial setup and some configurations to pull the code from GitHub and finally to push the Docker image to Docker Hub. So for that we need to do some initial configurations like providing credentials of GitHub and Docker Hub and downloading the required plugins like GitHub integration and Docker Hub. All those we are going to see that as part of this video. And once we get the connection to GitHub to our Jenkins pipeline will pull the code and compile the Java application and builds the jar, and it dockerizes our jar application and finally pushes the Docker image to Docker Hub. Docker Hub is nothing but Docker registry where we can see the final image. You need to install Terraform tool on your laptop. To install, you can follow the instructions given on terraform.io website, and you can follow based on your operating system, whether yours is Windows or Linux or Mac OS. And also you need AWS CLI tool. It's a command line interface tool, of course. You need to connect to AWS via your command prompt or your terminal to run the Terraform script so that it can communicate with the AWS cloud from your laptop. Of course, you need AWS free tier account. Your free tier account is enough to run this. Of course, you may get some charges. It's very minimal, less than $2. Of course, to get something you have to lose something, right? So, and you need a GitHub account. Of course, it's not mandatory. You can still pull the code from my repository as well. It's not mandatory, but of course, if you have it once, better. And finally, we need Docker Hub account. Of course, this is mandatory. Otherwise, you cannot push the image finally into your Docker Hub. So you must need Docker Hub account. It's free. You can create your use account on Docker Hub. I will provide the link for this. And of course, GitHub repository link also provided as part of the description of this video. And that's it. Let's get started. This is the Terraform script. However, I am going to provide the link for this repository in my description section. You can go through that. And compute.tf. This is the Terraform script where we will mention the Linux image and what is required for our Jenkins EC2 instance and configurations like Amazon instance security group to allow the SSH Jenkins so that we can SSH from our laptop to Jenkins server, and ingress so to allow the incoming traffic to Jenkins server, the 22 port to SSH, and HTTP access from outside world to inside the EC2 instance. The port is 8080 so that we can access Jenkins server using 8080 port from our browser. Egress for outbound traffic. That Jenkins wants to pull the code from a GitHub repository, so we need to enable the outbound. That is this, and we are going to run this install Jenkins shell script to install Java, Maven, Git, and Docker, all the stuff. And forget this kubectl shell script. We'll talk about this in the next video. And provider AWS, we are going to use AWS cloud to provide our infrastructure. So if it is Azure cloud, you may have to mention Azure. And network, so here So we need to open the network configurations for our EC2 instance so that we can have the seamless connection between our laptop to AWS cloud, and also from AWS cloud to another servers running on AWS, especially AWS API, to pull the Amazon image or Linux images, all those configurations, subnet details and all. If you want to really know what are these details, you can see the documentation on terraform.io website. Readme document, of course. This is the state, Terraform DF state. So if you want to have the same state always on your AWS cloud, you need to have this file. This is backup file, and instead of hard coding the values like region, environment and other subnet mask details, it's better to always have a variable file where you can give actual names of required variables. This is also same, region and environment. Yeah, and before running Terraform script to provision EC2 instance and Jenkins master on AWS, we need to create public key and private key from AWS console. Why we need it? You have the question like, right? So we need it because when you want to do the SSH from your laptop to our Jenkins master, we need the public key. So we need to associate these keys to our EC2 instance so that we can have the connection from our laptop to AWS cloud. So once you create the key pair, it will be downloaded the public key to your laptops. You need to configure it in your laptop so that you will have the connection to Jenkins or EC2 instance server. And we are going to see how we can create a key pair from AWS console. Open the browser, and already have the AWS console opened, and go to EC2 instance. If you go down, key pairs, so you have to go through each and every step to create. Already created one. Just create key pair, just gives name like Jenkins test keys. Choose the PEM. This is for Mac OS or Linux. If you are using Windows, you might have PuTTY on your Windows server, then you need to use PPK. So create key pair. See, it has been created. Sorry, it has downloaded the key for you. So you have to configure this key to your SSH folder on your laptop. We are going to see how we can do that. Open the command prompt. You have to move this file from downloads to, you have to give the exact name of your key, like Jenkins test keys. So when you are moving this key to SSH folder, spelling mistake. So when you see, it will be, you will not have the execution rights, so we need to change that. Jenkins test keys. Well, so you don't have expression for this. You need to change the rights on chmod 600 and Jenkins test keys. So if you see this, now you have the complete rights so that you can have the connection from your laptop to EC2 instance. So we are going to give this public key name as part of a Terraform script, so that it will be associated once you run your Terraform script while provisioning EC2 instance for see, this is the key name that we have to keep here, and also one more place. I think here only. So I'm going to use this key because I already created this key for myself, and I'm not going to use the key that has been created just now. I'm going to delete, of course, leave it, no problem. I will delete later. So actually, Terraform is a tool where you can provision infrastructure or on cloud like AWS or Azure or on premises. It's a very useful tool to provide infrastructure without running any manual commands to provide your infrastructure for your organization. If you want to know what is Terraform exactly, I have made a video some time back. You can go through my videos list, you can find it. So you will come to know at least some brief information about Terraform. So basically we have to run few commands to initialize the script. You need to Terraform init. This is the basic command. So it will ensure that Terraform is installed on our laptop. Oh, sorry, actually I'm on the wrong folder. I have to go to Terraform. CD AWS. So better we'll run the Terraform init again here to ensure. So it will give this basic information like what version we are using, and Terraform is ready to run the further commands from your terminal. Once the command finishes its job, you will see the image Terraform has been successfully initialized. Once you see this message, you are ready to go to run the further commands. So the next command is Terraform plan. Basically, this command checks that your script, whether everything has been configured properly. If there is any syntax errors or any errors, it will prompt you to correct, so that you need to correct it, and you have to run the final command called Terraform apply. Now you can see that some warning, but it is, of course, it's not a mandatory. It is saying you can remove the double quotes. You can ignore it because it's a warning, and yeah, we can go ahead to run Terraform apply. I'm going to provide the option auto approve so that I don't need to confirm again, because if you don't provide auto approve, it will check the initial checks and it will ask your confirmation to go further, to run the command further. So I don't want to confirm it again. I know what I'm going to do, so that I'm doing the auto approve. Okay, Terraform, something wrong. Yeah, spelling mistake. So usually it takes 8 to 10 minutes. So you can see that it is refreshing the state, so that it will check some initial configurations. Even after also we have made some mistake, script after running the plan also it will check. Actually, you can straight away run Terraform apply. Even whatever the job done by a Terraform plan, this also Terraform apply command also will do the same thing. But yeah, so usually it will take 8 to 10 minutes. We'll come back once it is done. Yeah, now it's done. You can see that Jenkins IP address. This is the complete address. That's what I told you earlier. Now we can use this, and we can see Jenkins server up and running. Or even we can access, if you go to EC2 console, running instances. Now we should see the EC2 instance up and running where on this Jenkins server also installed on this EC2 instance. That's the reason it has shown us the Jenkins IP address. Come on. Yeah, this is the Jenkins instance. You can see the key which is associated with this Jenkins server instance, and using this IP address you can access the, I think it doesn't work. Of course you need to provide the port 8080. Of course we'll try with this. Definitely we can see some initial screen of Jenkins login. Yeah, login form. So once you see that it is running fine, so that we can start doing the initial configuration for our Jenkins master. So to ensure Jenkins is securely set up and the administrator password, yeah. If it shows this screen, that means Jenkins is installed properly, and we need to find the initial admin password. That's the reason we have created the key pair to access the Jenkins server, and we can get into this path, and we can find the initial admin password for this Jenkins server. So we are going to do the SSH from our laptop to Jenkins instance. SSH. So now we need to copy the, sorry, not this one. We need to copy the IP address that we have got from AWS console. And actually the default user for Amazon images is EC2 underscore user, so it will give this message. You need to say yes, permanently added, permission denied. Oh. Of course it should work, but I don't know exactly. Maybe I can figure it out later, but we have another way to find out the password that I'm going to show you now. So we have chosen this Jenkins instance and click on the connect button on your AWS console, and EC2 instance connect. I'm using EC2 user connect. So you can connect the EC2 instance from console as well, like this. So now we are in a command prompt of our EC2 instance, and we need to run this command. What is that? To get the I don't know whether you can see this. Let me minimize so this is the command I already copied. Actually here, right? Let me, yeah, it's copied. Yeah, this is the password, right? So we have to copy this. Yes, that's it. So customize Jenkins. So once you see this screen, yeah, we have successfully installed the Jenkins master on EC2 instance. This is our primary goal, but we are going to see some more actions, how to configure the Jenkins master, to create the pipeline, and to download the required plugins to communicate with the GitHub repository and Docker Hub. Tab on Jenkins screen. Yeah, it's very simple thing. Of course, even I have done the same job in my previous project, which is on on-premises environment. It will be the same. It's taking some time to install all this. The Jenkins version is 2.2221. Okay, let's finish this, and it is asking the create first admin user. So we can create admin and password also admin, confirm the password, give the name and email address, techtter@gmail.com. Save and continue. So this is the Jenkins URL to access from the browser, the same thing that has we have accessed using the same address. Save and finish. Yeah, Jenkins is ready. Your Jenkins setup is complete. Yeah, we can start using this. Yeah, this is the Jenkins for you, where you can see that's what I told you. Now we can before adding plugins, we have to create the credentials. Let us see what and all installed. GitHub integration. Yeah, we need GitHub integration. Install without restart. Yeah. And Docker. Docker API. Docker and Docker API we need. I think that's what. Yeah. I think these three are very important for our job. Okay, it has been done. Go to Jenkins and go to credentials. We have to create the global credentials and select the system. Choose add credentials. Username. My GitHub username you have to give. Password. And you have to give the ID that I already copied here, because this ID is given in our Jenkins pipeline script. Yeah, I just put something GitHub credentials, or you can give the same thing. Okay, and one more credential we need to add for Docker Hub. While Docker Hub and we need to give the ID and description. You can give anything. Of course, I gave same. Now we have installed the required Docker and GitHub plugins, and also we configured credentials as well. Now we are going to create a Jenkins pipeline job, and so the pipeline job can pull the application code from GitHub repository, and it can create the Docker image, and finally it pushes the Docker image to our Docker Hub. And we are going to see that now. Create new job. This is sample application, and just choose multi-branch pipeline. Just choose some sample app Jenkins branch resources. Choose GitHub and choose the credentials that we configured some time back, and we need to give repository address where it is. So this is my GitHub repository, and we are going to configure here. I will provide this GitHub repository in the description. You can check out, or you can use my repo as well. So once it is done, see git build configuration. So we have the Jenkins file in our repository, so obviously Jenkins pipeline will read this file, and it will do the whatever the actions defined in this Jenkins file. Basically in this file it will contain the pipeline, the environment, checkout, so it will check out the code, builds, and also it will create the Docker image for us, and finally it will push the Docker image to GitHub repository. So you are going to see this Docker image in the Docker Hub. Now if I see my Docker Hub, I have only one repo here, and we are going to see the new repository with the name that has been defined here in my Jenkins file. So we are going to see the new Docker image or repository with this name in my Docker Hub. So just run the Jenkins job now. Save, apply. So it's going to run, and to see the logs, go to console, and you can see what is happening inside the Jenkins server. So it has checked out the code and created the jar. From the jar it is created the Docker image, and it is trying to push the Docker image to Docker Hub repository. Let's refresh it. It's showing. Of course, still we didn't see the successful message. Hopefully it will be done in few seconds. Actually, there were some issues. I was trying to fix it, so finally I have fixed the issue. Yeah, now you can see this success. You can see the finished success message. Now definitely we should see the new repo with the name. That's it. Yeah, this is the name we have given in our Jenkins file. So finally, don't forget to run the Terraform Desktop scripts, otherwise you will get charges from AWS. So you have to make sure that once the Terraform Desktop completes, it should show the message, whatever the resources created that should be destroyed, like this: destroy complete, resources 22 destroyed. So you should see this message, otherwise you will get charges. So be aware of this. And yeah, we have seen how we can use Terraform to install Jenkins master on AWS cloud, and also we have seen to create how we can create CI/CD pipeline to pull the code from GitHub repository, and finally pushing into Docker Hub registry. Yeah, of course we can write and we can extend the CI/CD pipeline to deploy the image on Kubernetes cluster, but please let me know if you really need that. I can do that for you. And yeah, that's it. If you like this video, please like it, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe it.